This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. I'm holding down the fort while Brian and Tom are out in LA land. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, May 5th. First up, Spotify to add podcasts to SAX later this quarter. While Spotify's in-house ad exchange did promise podcast inventory would come eventually, now there's a deadline. According to Spotify Associate Director of Product Marketing Savannah Ramsey, speaking at the Sparks event in London last week, podcast inventory is coming to Spotify Ad Exchange by the end of Q2. In addition, the generative AI tool within Spotify's Ads Manager dashboard is getting a wider release to the UK this quarter. And the AI tools have had some tweaking, as Spotify says they've worked to actively incorporate UK accents into the model for the UK release. No, I'm not going to do one now. Next up, WARC study finds brands are gaining ground with audio's help. The new WARC report, The Multiplier Effect, is built from data from over 1,000 brands, including case studies of specific companies like the direct-to-consumer mattress brand Saatva. In Saatva's case, they've shifted some of their marketing investment from paid search into audio. This includes both radio and podcast ads, which caused a spike in branded search, revenue, and better margins. As Odyssey Senior Director Reggie Shaw says, audio doesn't just drive awareness, it caused real revenue results, further reinforcing the notion that if one is looking to increase their brand's reach and get in front of engaged audiences, podcasting has to be in the conversation, if not a large focus of that move. Next up, can anyone supplant Joe Rogan as the most popular podcaster? This is from Ashley Carmen's Soundbite newsletter. Carmen points to the Edison Research Top 50 podcasts for quarter one. Rogan remains at the very top of the pile with the Joe Rogan Experience, which undermines a subgenre of article that has become popular in recent years, finding podcasting's Rogan toppler. Various outlets have taken to reporting on brief moments the biggest podcast technically wasn't in the number one spot. This usually happens on days when Rogan has a more rote guest with less celebrity cachet than his more viral episodes with huge celebrities. It's one thing to technically be number one on a zoomed-in chart looking at a single day, week, or even month. It's another to understand the sheer size of the Joe Rogan Experience and its neighbors in the top charts. Weekly charts will give newer podcasts with celebrity hosts leveraging their existing audience for engagement a little bump. Meanwhile, Edison's top 50 for Q1 has the same top 6 shows as last month, and a good portion of the top 20 are shows that have been in that same chart neighborhood for years. Virality is good, but momentum is another thing entirely. For our final top story, Mark Zuckerberg just declared war on the entire advertising industry, a spicy headline to say the least. In an interview with Ben Thompson, Mark Zuckerberg shared that Facebook's advances in ad targeting using AI-powered tech is leading to a future where Facebook hopes to generate ad creative as well, meaning that someone could come up to Facebook and say, I want to advertise my brand, and Facebook handles everything else with AI. Of course, this dream of handing payment details to Facebook for an automated process to run ads that then report back using proprietary numbers is antithetical, if not hostile, to the wider advertising industry. Major players in advertising questioned by The Verge say brand safety is a big concern when having a black box magically generate and run creative without input. Next up, it's not the quick hits, it's the upcoming events. I do this every now and then. The downloads news coffers will overflow with time-sensitive news, and I make little bulletin boards to show you everything that's coming up that's got a deadline to it. So let's get into some of that. This Wednesday, Hernan Lopez will be debuting the results of several months' research into how big the global podcast economy is and where the opportunities for growth are. The debut will happen at the Milken Global Conference. Panel is called Charting the Rise of the Global Podcast Industry. That's May 7th at 11:30 Pacific Standard Time. Next up, Asa will be co-hosting an in-real-life panel with Harvard Business School on May 13th, investing in the channels that build billion-dollar brands. This is happening in New York. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is paid. And then finally, PRX has announced a podcast creator summit in Austin, Texas, taking place June 16th through 18th. And then a second one later in the summer in Atlanta, July 30th through August 1st. And now for the rest of the news. Rococo Punch co-founder Jessica Alpert has launched a new series called No Resumes, Just People, highlighting people to show their creativity and passion and what lies in the margins of what a automated resume software might not consider a perfect fit. The first issue, interviewing podcaster John Moe, is currently up and linked in the newsletter. According to Semaphore reporting, former Pushkin Industries VP of Content and Production Mia Lobel is moving to Slate as their new executive producer of podcasts. Zeno Media has announced the appointment of entrepreneur Rodrigo Tigre as their new director of podcast strategy. Dear Media has signed April McDaniel and Savannah James's podcast Everybody's Crazy to the network just in time for the debut of a new season later this month. And Headliner has beefed up their paid advertising platform Podcast Promo by integrating with 6 new campaign tracking services. This includes Co-Host, Magellan AI, Podscribe, Podtrack, and Swap FM. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The download is written and produced by myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.